Now it's working. Sound is recording. Hey, Anna's here. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Anna.
We're looking at bugs and things. And duck, 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 goose is here. Hello.
Hey.
We're just waiting for the SEM to come to terms with the vacuum that it needs, which hopefully will happen. Because we put a lot of stuff in there, and some of it was recently living, so there's a Mama M Media. Hello. How's things going? There's a lot of recently living things in there, and usually we just look at dead things that have been long dead, or they've been treated with acid.
Long dead.
And so we need we may need to restart the pump a couple of times. It may try to pump all the way down and then not pump completely. And we've had that before. We actually had to take some of the things out because there was too much like juicy stuff in there.
I love it. Juicy things on the SEM today.
Yeah. So we'll see. But we've got pre-time to chat around just like what's going on, I guess. And we can switch places too, so you can control the SEM.
Not till the...
You want me to raise it up
Oh,
first?
yes. You get to do the
We're
dangerous
not gonna get
part.
that close.
That's okay.
Okay.
I
Probably at least until we have the vacuum pressure up to snuff. So... yesterday we were on the SEM for a while, but we elected not to stream any of it, and then we were going to go stream us collecting some cores, but there wasn't great internet where we were, and then the coring device wasn't working perfectly, and we didn't have a boat. So we did get some samples from the Plankton, and we collected some samples from around the lake where the bed and breakfast where Pacific Plankton is staying is.
There's a lake.
We have lakes here. And Barbados, Blackbelly, good morning.
Ooh.
It's good afternoon for us.
Yeah. Already. Time just disappears here.
Yeah. So we spent part of the morning preparing samples. Not these ones. Well, a little bit of time was spent preparing these ones, but mostly preparing samples for later or tomorrow. Yeah, probably later, actually.
Don't make me wait till tomorrow.
I mean, they'll be probably ready by... Well, some of them are probably ready now. But we have to take a break in the middle because I have a student who's going to be using the SEM from 2 to 4. She also is like... I can't believe that was 2 hours. It's like every time she sits down and then it's like basically... It seems like, time is just gone.
Time does that here, apparently. It's a thing.
It's even worse if you're paying for it. Like if you were paying $100 an hour and then you were just like, oh my God.
There's a lot of stress associated with that time.
Yeah. Especially if you're like looking for things and you can't find them, because a lot of times we're looking at very, very tiny things. Today we're looking at medium-sized things. They're small, but they're not that small.
They're kind of biggish.
Well, I mean... relative to what we usually look at, they're big. But they're still small compared to me, so...
It would be a big SEM to fit you inside.
Just put me in pieces. That's what we did with some of these things, right?
Disarticulate you.
Disarticulate me.
There you go.
Some of my bones would fit in here perfectly.
Your bones.
My teeth.
Oh, yeah.
They would fit in there. The ear bones would be good. Probably all of my ankle, toe bones and stuff, they're pretty small.
I don't know.
Some of them are bigger.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Studio Cornix. Hello.
Hello.
How's things going? It's way early for Pacific Plankton to be streaming.
It is.
It ran out of pump.
Uh-oh.
So it didn't quite get there. Oh, it got kind of close, though. I just vented it a little bit, and what that does is any moisture that's in the chamber that was causing it to not be able to pump down any further just went out into the air here with us, and And then I turned the pump right back on because we were almost there. So it
close.
just needs to go down like, I don't know, 0.5 or something more. And so I'm hoping it will do that without us having to take anything out. But Sam's here as well.
Hey,
Oh, you're
Sancho.
back in Seattle, so it's morning for you, studio.
Wow.
If you were in Ohio like you were last week, this would just be lunchtime.
Lunchtime. It's mythical. Lunchtime.
We never have it here, apparently. We just skip right to the SEM lab, and then it's like, oh, it's now 3 o'clock, and probably it's too late for lunch.
Yeah.
Because then you'll spoil dinner.
Don't want to spoil dinner.
But what we could do is get this started, and then...
Lorgana, hello.
I told Lorgana that you were going to be looking at snakeskin, and she was like,
Oh.
we're there.
Oh yeah, so it's the snakeskin. It's molted shed snakeskin, and there's one piece that's looking at the inside of it, and then I cut a piece next to it, and it's the outside. Or I like this.
Well, they're the same, more or less.
More or less.
She freaked out.
You freaked out. Oh, how cool! I even have eye scales included on the.
Oh, it's so close.
So
it's right
close.
where it flips. Hopefully it makes it.
Yeah.
And then I put some bugs on there. So we've got a cricket, a cicada, just the head, a hornet, a white-faced hornet, a wasp, and then we got some sand.
Yeah, sand from San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
I see what you did.
Yeah. Thank you for helping out everybody with the slight spelling error.
Close enough.
So we'll be looking at some non-diatom stuff for a while. I'll suffer it. It's green.
It's green. Let's go.
Green means go. Let's look at some sand. Francisco. That value's not right, of course. And I'm going to, once it gets the value right for the height, I'm going to raise it up a
So-
little bit.
Autofocus was which one? It was the...
Just right click. It's in
Oh.
the right click menu. Like click on the screen and autofocus is just a button. And then that just gives us the initial height
So-
of the sample. And the normal samples that we look at are on 10 millimeter stubs. And the value when it starts is usually 20. So the value without those is usually 30. So I know that that value is pretty close
Okay.
that it's giving us. And then we were so zoomed in on a piece of sand right there that it was hard to tell we were looking at sand. But so this is just some of that sand. But the sand actually is like composed of, it's not just quartz. So there's that going on for it, right? And you can kind of see that a little bit in terms of the brightness of some of these samples. So this might be a good time to push in the backscatter detector.
It's another scary bit.
A thing we never do. It's always set to the height that it's.
I know.
It looks
it's
like
just
it should be
things
scary.
moving in the chamber. Sorry.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Hopefully it will detect things.
So I don't have your computer. I suppose I should pull up chat on my phone. I can do that.
It needs to be closer, so I'm doing that now.
More scary parts.
Yeah. So these are with the backscatter detector, and we're just looking purely at backscatter here. So you can see there are some areas that are bright versus darker, and those are just differences in the density of the material. So
that's a density difference, those.
yeah, it's basically density differences. There's no, topographically, there's no difference between them. But you can see some little specks in here where there's different densities. They're just differences in the mineralogy. Same thing is true here. So you can see there's some bright and dark areas. And those are just mineralogical differences. So we almost never look at rocks on here. Of course, I don't know why. I'm actually a geologist. But
Well, now we're looking at rocks. They're just really, really small
right.
rocks.
Well, these are pieces of rocks, right? So they're just little rock class.
Well-traveled rocks.
Right. But the backscatter detectors, as a result, because I'm almost always looking at stuff that's either chitin or more typically silica, we don't usually use the backscatter detector because there's no purpose for it. Everything's silica. What's the point of looking at it with the different densities? But you can see this is one of the tools that people use when they use the SEM. They actually look for differences in mineralogy using the backscatter detector. And on our scanning electron microscope, we actually have the option of splitting the channel like this so that you can see what it looks like with the backscatter.
Can they see that? Oh, we're a little
Give me a
delayed.
second. I think they should be able to. Yeah, it's just a little wider than the
there we
screen
go.
is. So they can actually see, here, I'll move it a little bit. But so like this grain is this grain, and this grain is dark, but it's this grain, and this grain is that grain, right? So these things are the same, it's just a split image. And you can also, with my crazy tools, subtract one from the other like this, or you can add one to the other like this. So that's like the backscatter, and then you can actually even set the percentages you want of each one, but usually I just use one or the other.
Okay.
So I'm going to...
So what can we tell from that besides the density?
Just the density.
That's it.
Yeah, it's basically mineralogy. But if you had two metals in there and they were different metals, you'd be able to see the differences in the metals because they have different densities.
So
right?
if we were looking for magnetite in there,
It's probably the, let's see, it should be bright spots, I think. We'll have the ones that are brighter will be magnetite, I think. So that's a good question.
I'm just curious.
You know, if we were looking around for things that had magnetite, they're probably the brighter greens.
Micah's remembering having sand in his teeth.
In his teeth?
Apparently. Okay,
Tea
hold
or
on.
teeth?
Teeth. Like, you know, crunch, crunch, rocks. Yes. Hi, Micah.
So, like this one might be magnetite or pieces of magnetite in that, right? Because it's got a bunch of little bright specks in it. So they're going to be very small. The whole thing probably won't be magnetite. It'll just be magnetite mixed in with something
Really?
else. Yeah. So it's probably one of these. They're just little specks of dark things in them. It would be enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
So I can't tell because we don't have any color.
Well, I know.
But if we had picked out just dark grains, we could have done that. We'll put it on the to-do list if you're that interested in it.
If I have time.
I mean,
You can just use a magnet. You can pick them out pretty quick.
yeah, getting them
Magnet.
off the magnet might be a challenge. though.
Not if you use a little piece of like plastic or paper
Okay.
between the magnet and the sand, then it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Bright or conductive? Bright equals conductive, question mark.
Oh,
And next.
the more, I think probably the, it's probably not conductivity, it's just the density's different.
Okay.
But I don't use this, so I really don't actually even know if that's true. I just think that's the case.
And Micah says mainly beach play when I was younger with my siblings and I didn't have my mouth closed.
Oh, all right. Anyway, let's pull that out and we'll look at some of the other stuff. I just wanted to showcase it because we never do it on the
No.
channel.
It's
And,
so cool though.
most of the time, so if you were looking in the little window below us, you'd see that thing push in and out.
Good news,
but
everyone!
I almost never use it because we just haven't looked at a lot of things that have different densities as a general rule.
Studio Cornix says, now I need to snag a sample from Ruby Beach for y'all to look at. And we have a follow from Coffee's Sandwich, maybe? I don't know.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's sandwich. Okay, so let's, we'll go over to the snakeskin.
Snakeskin for Glorgana.
We'll just start so Glorgana doesn't have to wait.
Porcelain Giant wants to know, how much does the machine cost?
It's expensive.
It's very expensive. Like, you know, it's at a university, not in a garage.
Why are we between stubs?
I don't know. Something is not right.
I think maybe it just wasn't seated perfectly in the
Oh,
chamber.
really?
That's a small, minor technical issue. Because that's sample 2, and it thinks it's sample 1. That's okay.
But the holes lined up, I thought. Maybe not.
Slightly off the holes. Is my
Dang.
guess. That's my guess.
Should we
so-
fix it?
No. It'll just mean we have to rotate it manually. I mean, by clicking.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
All right.
So I'm actually going to lower it back down now, because we can't see much of the objects when we're this close. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's really hard to even see what we're looking at. But so this is the tape. This is the snake,
Oh, it's probably the eye scale.
and there's the eye scale, right?
Yeah.
So we can see that clearly here.
Snake.
And
Glorgana said, yes! And we have to take a picture for her.
well, we will. But first, we need to switch controllers, right? So you're going to be in charge of the SEM today. So we had one where it's inside out and one where it's right side in, right?
So this looks like the right side out one.
And then this looks like where they're switched. And this is inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also the same feature, the eye plate. It's got the same
Yeah.
ring around it, right?
Yeah.
And it just looks like one looks really dark and one looks bright, basically. Okay. We're there. We'll switch.
Okay. All right. So you can...
Look how far away we are from the
I know,
actual
we're so
material.
far away.
And yet, we can still see things perfectly fine.
We can
So if
totally
we wanted to get really close, we could see some things that were really close. And you can still zoom in. It doesn't control.
I know, but that's really cool.
Yeah,
Just,
just like that.
well...
So the normal process would be, beam intensity 10, speeds or 7,
Just-
speed 7, and get nice high resolution image out of that.
What do you think, Glorgana?
Let's see. I gotta get my computer out too. So
Oh, yeah.
this whole preparing for streaming thing. I mean, I guess you could look if you flip to the other screen, but
We could.
I figured we better start because we only had so much time before we have to end. So, Zabadian wants to know what species or family of snake is it, and Barbados Blackbelly says snakes are extremely cool,
Snakes are extremely cool.
and only Pacific Plankton can tell us what type of snake it is.
So Glorgana can help with this one. It's a type of garter snake found in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. So, let's see. Make the speed slower so I can...
She just says, "Oh."
So if
And then Anna said, yesterday she saw a red-tailed hawk snatching a poor little snake a few meters from her.
Wow. Right.
A combination of cool bird and cool snake. Mama M Media said, my son and I came across an eastern black snake while hiking in the mountains this past summer.
Very cool.
Hopefully without
You can
any
totally-
problems.
Look at the stuff between the scales. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and take a picture. Zoom out.
See how I don't even have to tell her how to use the SEM anymore? She just knows it?
I don't just know it. I'm learning.
Micah says, I used to think garter snakes didn't bite till one bit me. Did it hurt when it bit you? Because I don't think they have very long teeth.
So the question really isn't whether or not they bite. It's whether or not
They're poisonous?
they're poisonous is really but really large snakes,
Yeah.
they have big teeth. Even though they're not poisonous, you don't want to be bitten by a
Garter
large
snakes
snake.
aren't very big.
No, they're tiny, but they still bite. People always
They're little
ask.
tiny teeth. They're like ridges
Yeah.
more than teeth, aren't they?
They're little tiny teeth. I mean, they can grab a little baby mouse and eat it. It's not like.
Yeah.
And if you have tender skin, they can break the skin.
Gargano said anything with a mouth can bite you.
Exactly. The question is, like, are you food or will it hurt?
I also feel like that would make a great bumper sticker.
What?
Any of you people with a mouth can bite me. Just like that.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Just bite me.
Bite me. Bite me, mouth bearer.
All right, I'm trying to figure out how I want this eye centered in the SEM.
said, poisonous isn't much of an issue. Venomous is more dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't want to eat the snake if it's poisonous.
True. That's only a problem if I eat the snake, right?
Lorgana says they bite and it feels like paper cuts. It's not great, but yeah.
All right, I like that.
Porcelain Giant would like to know from me what kind of prep goes into specimens before SEM. But I'm going to let Pacific Plankton answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Because she prepped that sample.
I did. Okay, so what was the question?
What sort of prep goes into...
Okay, so there are... Right,
You want to actually show them
We'll
the skin?
We'll start. All right, so I started with shed snakeskin from that was found by a garage up in Michigan, and I thought, ooh, that would be cool. So I saved it and brought it here, and then I took a piece out, used really tiny scissors, and I cut little bits from it. Oh, look at that! You can see the bits between the scales. It's so cool. Okay, and then so once I cut the little bits apart, there are these little aluminum stubs. Oh,
you should show them the scissors that we... Did you use these ones?
I did. I used the super tiny scissors.
Micro snippers?
Yes, like, I don't know where, I can't see what I'm showing. So these are the micro snippers. Really, really tiny scissors.
Sorry, I have this...
We have tools. We have tools.
Some other tools.
We have
I don't
other
have it
tools.
ready yet.
You don't have it ready yet. So there's an X-Acto, fancy tools.
I'm waiting for Google Chrome to catch up.
It'll catch up. Tweezers, little tiny forceps for placing things, and then put them on these little stubs. And the stubs are aluminum. In fact, on the screen, you should be able to see it in the kind of bottom right corner. It's all silver looking in there. Because, oh look, I get a bit. I have a bit. All right, this is one of the stubs. I don't know if you can see the stub. And then I took one of these double-sided sticky, it's carbon tape, right?
Carbon tape.
Carbon tape. And stuck some on here, pulled the top sticker off and stuck the snake skin onto it. So it was glued down and wouldn't fall off. And then I took it over to the sputter coater, and there's another set of little tools that you use to place it in the sputter coater, and you coat it in a super thin layer of gold. Oh God, this snake's eye looks really cool. Look at the wrinkles.
Sorry, I was going to get these other...
Oh, the other tools? They're like really tiny canning tongs. So there's a groove, and you can just hold on to it with the little tongs. And so you can take it in and out without damaging anything that's on the surface. Just like that.
At least in theory.
In theory.
Yeah. So these were sputter coated in gold.
Yep.
We can sputter coat in silver, copper, nickel. You can pick any metal. We have gold, palladium, and platinum are options, and with various costs and benefits to them. Primarily, we sputter coat things in gold here because I don't want to have to take the target out and replace it with the silver one or replace it with one of the other ones. But we usually use gold for the diatom samples and anything else because it's just more conductive, basically.
So now I want to go in really close around the eye. Actually, we should look at the other eye first. Okay. Which, in theory, is here.
Sabadian says that there's some species of snakes which are both poisonous and venomous.
Nice. So don't eat them.
Yeah. They eat poisonous frogs and then they accumulate the poison in their system and they become poisonous themselves. So eating them and biting The poison frogs, many of the poison frogs actually get their poison. They don't generate it themselves, but rather it's processed from what they eat as well. And so, like the poison dart frogs, we have poison dart frogs in the hallway out here.
Well,
not roaming free, but in a,
I was gonna
in
say
a terrarium.
wild Indiana
And
poison dart
they
frogs.
are not poisonous because they eat what I call walks, because they are gnats that don't have wings, so they cannot fly. But they eat little flies basically here. But there, where they're found, they normally eat some poisonous ants. And so it's actually the ants that are generating or accumulating the poisons, and probably the ants eat something poisonous. So like it probably all goes back to a plant. It probably has nothing to do with the ant either. So the poisons just basically get moved up through the chain, right?
Yeah. Which is bioconcentrating.
Yeah, exactly. Headshot Specialist says, "Hi, Pacific Plankton. Very kind of you to feature the professor in your stream."
Yeah, except it's his channel. I don't even know if I hosted today. I should host.
You automatically host, probably.
I don't know.
If I'm on your list,
I don't
so-
remember how I have it set. I should
Well,
have you as a
You did last time, so probably.
already hosting. Yeah, I'm gonna like that. I think
Wrinkly
that's good.
Eye Studio says.
Well, it's the inside, and you know,
And then she said gilded diatoms. Yes.
gilded diatoms. I like that.
Glorgana says, Thamnophis SP IDs from Shedskin are tough. And I think she's talking about the genus Thamnosis, which
Yeah.
she thinks is
The garter
garter
snake.
snake group, I guess.
I don't know that there's a whole lot of snake diversity in Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
She says there are 2 species, it looks like, in the Upper
Oh,
Peninsula.
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
This one would have been
we've narrowed it down to 50-50, which is starting from all snakes. That's pretty good.
the inside of the skin's got more bumpy bits.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bunch of, like, dust
Well,
as well.
it was sitting on the ground next to a garage door too.
Right.
And this was the outside
I
side.
bet if you zoomed in like crazy, we could find pollen particles just stuck on it.
Should we turn them over and see what they are?
Oh, we don't think we need to. We have
No.
an SEM. We don't need to turn stuff over.
We don't need to turn stuff over.
Eastern garter snake, and the northern ribbon snake are the 2 possible options.
Really? A ribbon snake?
I've seen a lot of snakes around here
Hmm.
when I go hiking or when I go out to like collect samples or we're just out walking around.
You have poisonous snakes?
I've never seen any poisonous snakes
Oh.
or venomous snakes.
Or venomous snakes. I keep doing that. I'll keep doing that all day. So you haven't seen any venomous snakes. Do you have venomous snakes in Indiana?
I think we do,
Huh.
but I'm not positive. Glorgana might be able to tell us. If they're in Illinois, they're probably here,
Yeah.
so she probably would know.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's in Chicago, it's only 4 hours away. I feel like a snake could get here from there.
Just like
Somewhere like 3.5,
making
depending on
its
who's
way.
driving. When I drive, it's 4 hours. Copperheads.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what Studio says.
that's the local venomous.
Yeah, and she says there are venomous snakes in Indiana. Glorgana said that.
Got it.
She said Masaga. What we need is Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah would know.
Sarah would know.
Yeah. She said she might stop by sometime, but you
She was
know,
fun. She's fun.
now that she knows we're streaming, because it probably got the message, she might come down.
The skin looks different where it joins the scales between the inside and the outside. Aside from it just being messy.
Mama M Media says we have 3 types of venomous snakes in their state, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
but plenty of non-venomous snakes. Yeah, I mean, most of the snakes I encounter, they just look at me and then I look at them and then they just skitter off the path, right? It's a pretty short encounter. I've never run into any like aggressive snakes. Most of the time they just leave you alone if you leave them alone. So,
True.
and then Sam wanted to know if I had a harmonica around my neck. This is actually just my mask, Sam. It's
Little one-man band going on there.
right. I don't actually. Our family has a harmonica, but it belongs to my daughter, so I don't own a harmonica.
Family harmonica.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure I bought it, but I don't own it in any way. Like most of the things that my daughter has, the moment I hand it to her, it's no longer mine. So, look how straight that edge is.
When I cut things,
You don't mess around.
It's precision work.
You hand her those micro scissors and she's like, straight
Kind of
lines.
a nice straight line right there.
Yeah. Scientists measure their instruments with those sort of lines.
Okay, let's see. All right.
Anna wants to know, what's your favorite type of snake? She may be asking me, but I don't have a favorite type.
You don't have a favorite snake? I'm getting.
You have like a picture of a snake you'd like to show me?
No,
Is that what this
no.
is? Or your phone's just buzzing?
I'm apparently getting meeting announcements for a meeting I can't make.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if there was like,
I wasn't sure what was going on.
You
Maybe
whipped
it
out
was-
your phone like, let me show you my favorite snakes.
My favorite snake is.
Yeah.
Actually, the San Francisco garter snake is one of my favorite snakes.
Okay.
One of my favorite all-time snakes. It's really beautiful. It's like red and turquoise and black. They're endangered and spectacular. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think probably...
Just looking for a nice nook to zoom in on.
I mean, snakes don't scare me, but they always startle me.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because it's like, I wasn't expecting that thing to be there, But I'm not, like, afraid of them once I see them.
Maybe right here. Or here. I like that spot.
But I try to make sure to leave them alone, Like,
I'm sure they appreciate that.
I feel like if I was just out roaming around and some giant bipedal creature, encountered me, they tasted weird, I would just go some other direction. So. Anna's trying to start a fight. She says that there's nothing cuter than the northern rubber snake.
Oh, rubber snakes are cool.
She says you look at it, it looks at you, and the looking contest continues indefinitely until you tire and poke it. And then it continues to stare at you. Let's see. Headshot Specialist says, Professor, do you think SEM might become less expensive in the future? There are SEMs that you can buy that cost about $60,000 that you can run that sit on a desktop. They're much smaller than this instrument. The chambers are smaller than this instrument, and the features that are available are less as a result, because you can't. I mean, there's things that are sticking into the chamber, right? So when you have a smaller chamber, it creates a problem, and the more items you need to have sticking into the chamber to modify it, because it's modular. Like, there's little holes or ports basically that things fit into it, and so we could have bought one of those little desktop models instead of this one.
You could have. It's a butterfly scale.
Yeah. So I told you there was just random dusty things. We got butterfly scales on the stream now. The problem is, if we wanted to do EDAX, which is the elemental analysis, and you want to try to outfit one of those little SEMs with an elemental detector, it cost $140,000, because even though it's only $60 for the machine, to get a specialized custom-built chamber that can handle putting the EDAX in, basically makes it as expensive as this machine. So why would you get one of those if you needed to do elemental analysis? Why not get this one and spend a little bit more money and get a nice one that has a bigger chamber and actually is more functions and more ports? So
I hear someone coming.
Yeah, there is somebody coming. It's probably Carlin. I think she's the only other person besides people in the other lab who even knows the code. I guess we'll talk. Oh, it's Laura.
We're streaming.
Oh.
You can come in, Laura. It's fine.
I just wanted to let you know before you came in
was
so that
warning
you
you.
were aware.
In case you decided to start picking your nose and eating it.
Oh no.
Apparently there's
You
fear
know.
of nose picking on stream.
People worry about their nose picking.
Well, fair enough.
What's going on?
Just saying hi.
Oh, hi.
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 This is Pacific Plankton. It's Laura.
So cool to meet you.
I know.
We're looking at snakeskins. You can hang out if you
Oh
want.
my God.
Yeah, isn't this cool?
Snake
Alright.
snake?
Yeah, like a snake, like
Just the skin.
But, well,
just a piece.
well,
You don't like snakeskins?
little creepy?
Creepy.
No?
You don't like to have the skin of another dead animal just hanging around?
No.
What about leather shoes?
I don't have leather shoes, so.
That's true.
What about dust? Most of the dust is skin.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
She's got you there.
Yeah.
dust.
Skin dust.
Yep.
You,
It's a lot grosser when you say it that way.
yeah.
Breathe it in, breathe it out.
That's right.
It's biological.
Let's see.
Oh, I should have focused it again.
You're probably
Here.
too big for
Stop.
most Indiana snakes to eat. I think that's true. I would say all Indiana snakes, unless there's somebody's anaconda that's escaped, I'm probably too big for all of them to eat. Let's see. Zabadian said we only have the common adder in the Netherlands. In the whole country, you only have one snake, or only one venomous snake. Studio said in Washington we have a western rattlesnakes, and they all live east of the Cascades. Shoo Shoo says we haven't much snakes here, and they aren't poisonous. Porcelain Giant says danger noodles. which I think
Danger
is
noodles.
a cute
I
name for
like
them.
that.
Glorgana would like to suggest that there's nothing cuter than the hognose snake, which plays dead. Porcelain Giant said I would love a desktop. I think they mean a desktop SEM, maybe in 20 years. Studio says, oh, 60,000, very affordable. I mean, if you get one that's big enough that you could put all of your stuff in it, you could live in it. And then it's just like a house, right? So you could afford $150,000 if you could live in it. I'm sure
Just
if you
need a
push some of the
patron.
wires in the desk down there around, you
I
might
could
be able to like
snuggle
squish
in
yourself
down there
in.
and sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
I'm
I
surprised you haven't asked if you could just
Can
stay
I just
here all
stay
night.
overnight? It
Yeah.
would have saved on like housing. No.
Right. We just set you up a little cot in here.
Are you saying I can?
I mean, it's okay with me. I don't care.
Is it actually allowed to stay overnight at the university?
No.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I
go.
figured I
But who's going to do anything about it? Who comes in here at night?
The board erasing
Right, the
person?
board erasing janitors? Yeah, they might. Are you
They would
gonna
be
stand? You can have
surprised.
a chair and hang out with
Grab a
us.
chair. I think I won't be too long.
Okay.
So,
You can just stand back there then.
yes.
I don't know if the cost will continue to come down. I feel like there's a sort of minimum threshold for the scanning electron microscopes. I think that there's such a limited number of people who are using them that that's part of the reason that the cost is very high. And I would also say that all scanning electron microscopes of the larger varieties that are all the companies, so Tescan and FEI and whatever, they're all made in one place, which is Brno, which is one little city in, I think it's in the Czech Republic.
Wow.
And it is the only place where all of the SEMs are made. I think there's also some of the Japanese companies now have factories in Japan that make them, but like all of the normal JEOL, Tescan, and the FEI ones that used to be,
I like this one.
yeah, it's cool. Those textures are neat.
They're really neat.
They're all made in like one little town in Czech Republic, which does nothing else apparently. Lorgana says, I love the close-up PF, the shot between the big scales. I don't know what P, is that a technical? What's PF, Lorgana? Oh, maybe it's an of. Yeah. Close-up of. Yeah. Studio said, do you have pictures of the specimens with their gold plating? No, but we can take some if you'd like. and I can post them in the Discord, maybe, if that's something that you're interested in. We can actually put them on the stereoscope in my lab,
Ooh.
and we could image them for you, and then you could just join the Discord. We'll take some of those. I think Pacific hasn't really had a chance to use the stereo microscope yet, so she's used this little crappy one over here.
It's just there's so much. I don't have enough time.
Yeah, you thought 3 days or 4 days was going to be enough?
No, that was just all I could eke out. Because I didn't realize I could sleep in the lab and then.
Let's see. Most dust is skin. Yeah, oh, somebody seemed annoyed by or disturbed by that. Said they're going to worry about this for a while. Most of the dust is like skin and hair or fur, right?
Dander.
Dander is basically the primary source of dust inside a house. Outside a house, it's probably a lot of other things. So, lady in blue at the top, please sit down. They're talking
Lady
to,
in blue
this
is going to leave very soon. I'm
Lady-
just spying on them.
Lady in blue brought her lunch with her, so.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
empty now.
Oh, okay. We haven't eaten. We're just skipping it, apparently. We're doing, when in Rome, we skipped lunch. Or I could run out and get lunch for us and come back. So,
Or I could run out and get lunch.
You don't know where any of the food places are, so.
It's true. But I feel like it's something I could figure out.
Anna asks, what are you currently reading?
Me? Oh, John Dies at the End.
That's the book name?
Yeah. And then I'm rereading the Starless Sea, but in French. So I'm really excited because I'm, all right, 7. I want 7. Sorry. 2 things at once, 7.
Mm-hmm.
And brightness.
Would you like to just try to chat at the same time while you're doing
I
all this?
I could try. I do, it's not as complex because it's the manipulation is more direct.
Mm-hmm.
And not like passed through computers, but it's kind of what I do,
Right.
like late at night in the dark,
Right.
in the corner,
In your science fort?
in my little science fort. Yeah, it's a really tiny little science fort. All right.
Oh, Sarah's here. She says hello.
Hey, Sarah. Snake.
We're looking at a snake. And Maddie Akel is here, waving with a koala bear. Lorgana said make the locals go hunt lunch. Yeah, exactly. And Anakin Luke is here. He says hi, and he's got a
Hi.
shaky-headed emote. Or you could have the food delivered. Yeah, that's
Do they
an
do that?
option. I mean, the restaurants around here do.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking I could just run over to George's and get some Greek something or other, and then just bring it back. And then you could eat over there while I use the SEM, and then I could eat over there while you use the SEM.
Oh, that'd
you
be
know?
nice. But I'm not really hungry.
Okay. Well, then we can just skip it. It's fine.
It's just so cool.
I
I'm just
know.
having so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I ever live without one?
Headshot Specialist says, does the book name contain a spoiler?
I don't think so.
About John dying at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not the story. Well, anyway.
Anna wants to know, why would you read a book written in English in French?
So I really love the descriptions and the vocabulary in English in The Starless Sea, and I like the story. And so by reading it in French, I need to practice my French vocabulary because so I speak French, and the first thing that goes is you start, like, words drop off. They, like, disappear. You go to say something and you're like, I know what that word is. It's just not there anymore for recall. And one way I help deal with that is to read a book that I've read already that I really enjoyed, and then I can experience it from a different language perspective, and it adds the words back into my more long-term memory. At
That's
least,
a good strategy. I'm supposed to know French, but not really.
No?
Not anymore.
No?
So that's a good.
c'est dommage.
I feel like you've got English, right? So
Yeah. I used to know some Spanish, but I totally lost that. It was really funny because I learned Spanish from French into Spanish, which made it really confusing because then I was speaking Spanish with a
Yes.
French accent, and they were like, yeah,
No.
just stop.
Porcelain Giant says, I just got my first microscope and I've been having so much fun.
Yes.
That's a great attitude. This year I got my fifth microscope and I'm still having a lot of fun. So
It's pollen.
I told you we would see some.
And there's more.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
I told you we could find some pollen spores.
We didn't even look for it. It was just there.
Is the
Yeah.
other thing a scale?
There's a
Next
bunch
to
of
the
butterfly
pollen?
scales and stuff.
Yeah, this here. A moth or butterfly. Don't know which one.
Nice.
Yeah. Turns out when you're just laying around on the ground, there's all kinds of things that land on you.
Yeah.
Also, when you're, crawl through the grass, sort of pick up stuff.
So this is the inside of, so this here is the joint between the eye scale and the other scales. Let's see. And this is eye snake side.
Let's see. Lorgana thinks we should pick her up some Greek. Samsung wants to know if we're a fan of Bugatsa. Do you know what Bugatsa is? Bougatsa.
No.
I do
I'm
not
curious. I'm Bugatsa curious now.
Anna says, I'm currently suffering and nobody can understand the depths of my suffering. I finished the latest Bearable book 5 days ago.
What did you finish?
And the last graduate is going to be released tomorrow. So she's waiting for a book.
Oh, yeah. You know, finishing a book and not having the next one ready, I totally get that. It's so I'm always asking what people are reading because there's just, it's really hard not having a book ready.
This is going on probably...
I'm like spending too long with the snake eyes.
No.
Okay.
As long as you want.
All right.
I mean, we can look at bugs whenever.
No, we can
I
move
can look
on.
at bugs whenever, even.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there's bug heads. Actually, I wanted to see the other, so I want to go
See,
here.
everything's kind of offset.
I know, I screwed up. Damn, it's a keeled scale. Look, they're keeled.
Yeah. Well, you can just click on it and get
I
it.
know. That's what I'm doing.
This is the part of the dragon that you make the shield out of.
It is. So, and here we have, again, we have the inside and the outside. So this is the outside of the keeled scale and the inside of the keeled scale. All right, so I'm going to go.
Headshot specialist said, Bonsoir, Pacific Plankton.
Eh, bonsoir, comment
Comment
ça va?
That's what they said
Oui?
as well.
Ça va très bien, merci. Et vous?
And then Anakin Luke wants to know, is cereal soup? Which I think is a very cogent question, but a little off topic.
It's a very interesting
A
question.
cold soup, maybe.
How do you define soup?
I
Well,
think it needs to be savory.
Soup can be savory or sweet, depending.
are there a lot of sweet soups?
I didn't say there had to be a lot of them.
I'm trying to think of one.
Sweet soups? There are fruit soups.
There are?
Are there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I've had fruit soups, I guess. I don't know. It depends.
I mean, fruit soup sounds a lot like a type of cereal that we have around here.
Sounds like a smoothie, actually.
Anna says she loved the audiobook of The Starless Sea.
Oh, with the it's like a full cast, isn't it?
Samsung said yes, cereals are soups and tacos are sandwiches. Excess59 says Petit bonjour de la France.
Pardon?
Petit bonjour.
Petit bonjour? De la
Uh,
France?
De la France.
Où? Vous êtes en France?
Anakin says, I was just hugging my dog. I wonder what's on me.
Good stuff.
Fur.
Well, I'll get back to work now, but it was nice time.
It's great meeting you.
I hope I can see you later or
Yeah.
Yeah,
any
yeah.
other time.
There'll be
this
time.
week.
She's here till Wednesday. afternoon, basically.
Yeah.
So
I'll see you later.
I'll be
probably just
here.
to come in here anytime, day or night. She'll probably be right here.
If I can be, I will be.
Good to know.
Someone kicks me out, I'll have to go.
Yeah. Well, this is true. Mama M Media says tomato soup is sweet, and it is also a fruit soup, technically. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Just saying.
Because tomatoes are definitely a fruit.
Yeah.
They have seeds on the inside. So, and that soup is sometimes sort of sweet. I'll just lay it out there. I hate tomato soup, though. My least favorite soup. Next to, like, soups with seafood, because I don't eat seafood. But, like, if I had a soup that didn't have seafood in it, tomato soup is, like, the one I hate the most. Least favorite. It seems like something that you would dunk your grilled cheese in as a sauce for dipping your sandwich in, rather than actual soup. But that's just me. Anakin Luke says that a tomato is a fruit. Yes, it is. I'll have to revise it if cereal counts as a soup, because there may be some cereals that I hate worse than tomato soup.
Really?
I'll have to think about it. Like Captain Crunch? I don't know if you ever had Captain Crunch.
It wasn't one of my favorites. It wasn't like something...
I feel like what they did is they ground up some glass, and then they put that in the flour, and then they were like...
So you have a tender mouth.
Bite into this thing, and then, I think I still have scars on the roof of my mouth from Captain Crunch. I was like, what is this? Why did they put this in there? And also, as much as I want to eat grape nuts, can't eat it.
No?
No, I feel like my teeth are going to break when I eat that. If it's heated and then, like, been sitting in the milk for a while, maybe, but then it's, like, kind of soggy and gross. And they make the grape nuts into, like, sometimes into, like, flakes or whatever. Those are fine.
Grape nuts flakes.
Yeah, or, like, sometimes they're in, like a crackling brand, something or other. Those are fine. It's just, like, the grape nuts that's just, like, here's a bunch of seeds in a bowl. Put some milk on it. I can't eat it. So, and probably like that less than tomato soup. Gazpacho is not just tomato soup, so I will agree with you. I like gazpacho, but I don't like just tomato soup. I'm not saying I don't like soup with tomatoes in it. I don't want a soup where it's just blended tomatoes and it's like condensed milk or something in it, right? And then sometimes it's made salty, sometimes it's made a little bit sweeter, but like that's it. It's not my thing.
It's not your thing?
No. I like if you're gonna give me just one thing in a soup, I would rather have like French onion soup, honestly.
Oh, that's a
Those are
good
good.
soup.
Right? You put a little bread, a little cheese. It's not just the onions in a soup, though. It ends up being that after you eat the bread and the cheese part out, but then you just have like the onions in the soup. But you've already had the delicious part, and that's just like cleaning up it. So. Pangoline's here.
Hey!
Sorry, Pangoline, we're just talking about like
Soup.
soup.
Because it's lunchtime?
It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime and we're hungry. No,
Yeah.
I'm not really hungry.
She's not hungry.
I'm not really hungry. I'm just, the
Her
idea...
fascination with the SEM is
it's
feeding
just
her.
too strong. I can't
Yeah.
handle it. Everything's so amazing in it. All right.
We can talk about whatever. That's what we do. I'm not going to change this to just chatting, but sometimes we just do whatever, We're here with we've got our SEM in the background. We're snakes and we're looking at, and
This is
bugs.
a snake scale. Just one keeled scale.
But if you're here for my hot take on cereal or soup or tacos or whatever, or even Pacific Plankton's book selections, it's fine.
It's fine. My eclectic taste in books.
Is it eclectic?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like it is. But
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I like that. I'm going to take that picture.
Zabadian says, I mostly read short stories. My last two
Ooh.
were Michael's story and Evelyn's story by Drew Wegar. Wegar? Something like that. XS59 says, thanks for this stream. It's very interesting. Hopefully they don't just mean the soup part.
The snakeskin part? There'll be diatoms later.
Mama Emidia says, so strawberries are veggies because their seeds are on the outside. Strawberries are what's called a fleshy protuberance. It is neither a fruit nor a berry.
Nope.
It is just a part of the plant that is swollen up and has the seeds on the
Nothing
outside
is
and is sweet.
impossible.
It is
Not
not
if you can
a fruit.
imagine it.
That looks too bright here.
If you came just to figure out whether something is a fruit or not, I will save you the trouble. Does it have seeds on the inside? It's a fruit. That's the answer. The short answer.
The short answer.
Do I have a favorite fruit soup? I think maybe they're asking you, because
You don't have a favorite fruit soup?
like, it depends on what we're counting as
Tomato
soup. Right,
would be
tomato
a fruit soup.
Fruit soup, I don't like it.
You don't?
No.
No.
Potatoes aren't a fruit.
No, they're a tuber.
Right.
Mm.
So. Animal Green says, gotta go. I'm trying to fast today.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I didn't start it. I'm just here. People ask questions.
Are you going to finish it?
I don't know. Robert agrees with me. They said Captain Crunch was sharp. It's like eating fruity razor blades. Yeah, exactly.
But was it really fruity?
Candy gravel. That's what it's like. Let's see. You know, Lurkana argues that you pour milk over dry cereal so the milk is the sauce. Which I feel is fair.
So it's like...
This riveting scientific conversation. Yeah, we just talk about whatever sometimes. When we're not looking at diatoms, we're just looking at whatever, then we just talk about whatever.
It's a whatever thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Skills.
I'm not going to withhold what people can talk about in the chat. It's fine.
Although keep it clean,
Yeah, right.
please.
You think an epic rap battle is in order? Well, it would be nice, probably.
A what?
An epic rap battle. Where they take two famous people and then they have them rap off against each other.
Oh.
I don't know if they mean like you versus me. We would
Yeah,
have to
no.
plan that out.
Not epic.
What sub-epic rap battle? Potato leek is amazing. As a soup, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I can't eat clam chowder because it's got seafood and I don't like seafood. So, let's see. I do absolutely love soup, Pengaline says. And last stream I watched, in fact, we were talking about how wonderful bread bowls are. How big is the scale?
Oh, well.
And
Here.
Pengaline says, what a long scale. This is a viper. It's not a viper, it's a garter snake.
Here's the scale bar. And it's almost, here, I'm going to close the picture.
You can,
I can what?
use measurement tools.
There's measurement tools. Hold on.
I think they're here. Measurement. And then you just click like one and then the other. And it tells you the length in microns.
Now you know.
I didn't line those up perfectly, but
I know. Do they need it exact?
I don't know.
Were they asking for a precise measurement?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
telling you. We can do that if you want. If you need precise measurement.
So this is the measurement tool.
Yeah,
right?
you can click that little arrow button and you could redraw it or you could just move them around. Yeah. You want to give them the length and the width. You can do it.
The length and the width of the
It looks
scale.
like it's
So-
3,000 microns, which is 3 millimeters.
So this is get rid of it all, or
Yeah, that'll get rid of it.
all right.
3 millimeters was the length.
Do we want the width too?
I mean,
The length and the girth.
we're
Oops.
scientists around
Ah.
here. We're just gonna do things. That's it.
So
Those are
this one.
angles. That's
Angles.
angle. That's
this
the length.
one.
There
That's
you
the one I
go.
wanted.
So just drag it, yeah, and then yeah. There you go. 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeters wide.
Approximate scale measurements.
Yeah.
Ha! There's measurement tools.
Are men fruit? I don't know. Probably not. I think you also have to grow, like, from the ground. So.
It would be women or fruit.
Probably.
I mean, if you're gonna go that way.
Right. Still don't grow from the ground, though.
And don't make soup.
Uh,
I closed the wrong window.
oh,
do
now
I
we
open it?
won't be able to watch anything
Oh
anymore.
no, it's gone. All right,
This button over here.
got it.
We can bring it back.
We can rebuild it.
We haven't lost it.
We have the power. It's scary. It was frightening.
They're gonna ask, did you get some of the belly scales?
I didn't put the belly scales on because there wasn't enough space to do inside and outside of the eyes, the back, and the belly.
We ran out of stubs.
Yeah,
Space.
yeah. We have insects to look at too. We haven't even gotten to. So
Yeah, we spent an hour and 10 minutes looking at
snake bits.
snake
I'm
bits.
sorry. Should we move on?
No,
Should
do
we
whatever
move
you
on?
want. That's the
Glorgana,
thing.
do you want to see the inside of one of these keeled scales? Would you like to? Tell me. Tell me what you'd like.
Let's see.
Does she?
Um,
Here we go.
inside of scales, then bugs.
Okay.
That's what she suggests.
All right, you got it.
And Pangolin says that they're going to pretend that they think in microns all the time.
Nice.
I mean, that's going to be some big numbers for you probably in your daily life. This is the inside?
This is the inside.
Oh. Is it a groove?
It's a groove on the inside because there's actually
A ridge.
on the new skin underneath. Because this
Oh.
is the shed skin that peels off inside out,
Good point. There's
Right.
got to be the same groove.
so that it fits like a mold and a key.
Yeah.
I was into snakes for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's see. So, I don't want that there. All right.
Calculating light years in microns. That does sound rough.
Let's see what if I take that one.
Well, but once you're into the scientific notation, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, just adding 3 more.
It's all about the zeros.
It's not even zeros at that point.
Hmm.
Scientific notation would get rid of all the zeros.
True.
Pangolin said I was into snakes and I'm still into snakes.
Nice.
I can't say that I've ever really been into snakes.
It's a thing. I want to rotate it.
Well,
Ah,
you know where that is,
that's
right?
here, yes. And I want it to go this way, so it's minus.
Yes. Are you trying to make it like horizontal line?
I'm trying to make it like on the angle.
Oh, you're trying to get
on
to
the
exactly
diagonal.
45
Well,
degrees?
not exactly, but
You need like 10 degrees.
so minus 10.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Or you could put 350.
So 350. Curious. And I'm in the right field. It's rotation, not tilt.
Right. You're good.
Yeah,
That's what you wanted?
I think so.
See? Math in my head. When it's angles, it's good.
Head math.
Yeah. Lorgana says there's no evidence of parasites on this snake. That's nice.
It is nice. Especially since I carried it back in my carry-on. I mean, not the whole snake, just the skin.
Zavadian says, in normal speech, it's easier for me to talk in hundreds of kiloyears instead of having to say scientific notation microns. I mean... This is why we have the metric system in the first place.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to nudge it down.
Pangolin says, imagine whole snakes in your carry-on.
Snakes on a plane?
I feel like there was a movie about this.
I think it was. Okay.
And there's a lot of MF in that movie about the snakes on the plane.
Really?
Well, just in that part, right?
I don't think I actually watched that movie.
I've never watched the movie, but there's some
Okay.
key lines in it that are...
There are?
Yeah,
Okay.
about the MF snakes on this MF plane.
Ah. Trying to nudge it.
Porcelain Giant, thanks for hanging out. Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out.
Pangolin says this stream should be called Snakes on a Plankton.
feel like that might be a slightly different stream. 7. All right.
I would have to get rid of the family-friendly tag, I feel.
No. I mean, no, don't want to do that. All right. I want to focus. Okay. Let's see.
What's happening right now?
I'm trying to focus it.
Okay. Which part isn't working?
No, I'm just looking at it going,
Oh, trying to decide if it's in focus.
trying to decide, like, is it getting better or worse?
It's just like at the doctor's office when they're checking your eyes.
I know.
You know, is this better or worse?
Is this better or worse? Is this better or worse? It's better. That's better. See? It's getting better.
I'll take your word for it.
I think it's getting better.
We just put you in control and let you, you know,
Just gonna sit here and, like, play.
she's going to focus on snakeskins for another 10 minutes at least.
Just after this one, and then I'm gonna go on to insects. Sorry.
Pangolin would like to know, is this trip the first that y'all have met in person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know each other in person before this.
Mm-mm.
We knew each other in Zoom, in Discord, in
Twitch.
Twitch, in
Mhm.
Twitter, in Instagram,
Yeah. All the ways.
all the social media ways. Also, we had regular matchups in Wingspan against each other.
True, that was fun.
And,
Haven't played that in a while. I
and we
actually
knew each
have
other
it
in
on my computer.
Minecraft, and we know each
Mhm.
other in Valheim,
Yeah.
and I think that might be the limit right there. That might be the whole list.
Now we've added in person.
Now we have in person.
I also had a homework assignment.
Yeah. In Exit U says, I think your SEM might be a little nearsighted. I mean, it's possible.
Maybe
it's probably
I'm.
not the SEM.
It's probably me.
But
nearsighted.
the operator has glasses on, so I feel like their nearsighted might be corrected.
Uh-oh.
What?
They're saying it's blurry.
I don't know. I don't think it's blurry.
I think I sharpened it up.
I think it looks fine. Mama M Media says, Wingspan is amazing. I have both the board game and the digital version. Me too.
Nice.
We never get to play the board game because we got it and then the pandemic started.
We could play tonight.
We could. Actually, that's a good idea. And we actually have the
Wingspan.
European expansion set of cards, which we've never used either because we got that for Christmas, and then we hadn't been able to play the board game. So, but since
So-
we know how to play the game so well from having played it a bunch in the digital format, then we could potentially do that.
So when you come and visit me, we can play. Do you play Settlers of Catan?
I've never played Settlers of Catan.
You've never played Settlers? Wow.
It came along after I was basically not playing games.
Aw.
So I was busy doing PhD stuff.
Because we have both, like, the vanilla version and the Star Trek version.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't bring it with you, did you?
No, it's not a travel-sized game. You have to come to San Francisco.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we can stream from my science fort.
Okay.
I'll get another yoga ball.
Oh, I can. Can I just bring one?
You could.
'Cause we
They
can inflate
deflate.
it,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
I could have my own yoga ball chair. I think we have one at the house, actually. We have
Yeah.
a balance ball, or whatever they're called.
Yeah. The thing is, if you want to roll to the other side of the living room and you push back on it, you're just going to go over backwards.
It's just the ball.
It's just the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't have any sort of other
No.
thing. Yeah, I have one of those. I used to use it to stretch my back out. You
They're
know,
great for
roll
that.
on it. Yeah.
It's a
I never sit on it.
multi-purpose.
But
Keeps me on the ball.
oh, came with jokes, guys.
Just thought of that today.
Pangolin says, I would argue SEMs are the nearest sighted. Yeah. Very nearsighted jokes. And then Inetsu, you said that it looks good.
It looks good.
They weren't complaining about your
Okay.
focusing. I think they were also making a joke.
I'm distracted, so
Are you?
I'm not super focused.
Oh, really?
No.
What's distracting you?
I don't know, streaming?
I mean, I'm reading the chat for you.
I know, it's still very distracting.
It's like when you have the microscope and I'm reading the chat for you sometimes, right?
It's true, it's wonderful. But it's still, there's an element of distraction in streaming.
Why do PhD stuff when you can have games? Well, you can do both. I think that's feasible. In fact, I have some friends here who play Settlers of Catan, and they don't live very far from us, but probably
yeah.
they wouldn't want us to just show up and borrow their set
That's
because people are very careful about the coronavirus. So,
Yes. Alright.
Pangolin says they're jealous. They want a science fort.
You want a science fort? You can make your own science fort.
You just need
A little bit of space.
how much space?
Not much. Tiny little corner. So think about this. I don't know if you did this when you were a child. If you built like a pillow fort in your living room when you were younger. Okay? Imagine that.
We regularly have pillow forts in our living room
So
at my age because I have a daughter.
All you do is you add a microscope to the pillow fort.
Where does it go?
so-
Inside the fort?
It does. Well, it has to. So, and if you have, if you construct this fort in the corner of a room, right, then you have two solid walls, right, that you can use in your fort construction because like the corner of the room is two walls of the fort. So then there's
Sure.
only, right, and then you have your workstation and your microscope in front of you, and then you have only kind of one way out of the fort, which is to the side, and it feels very
have
secure.
like a secret exit in case the fort gets surrounded and then you're under siege. You should have
No,
an escape route.
I have the.
There should be an escape exit from all fortresses.
There's fortifications on two sides and instrumentation in front of me. So I have one out.
I feel like you should always have some sort of escape route because if you get under siege and then you don't have any way to get out to get food.
If I'm under siege in my science fort, we've got bigger issues.
Let's see. Zvadian says, what's worse than a box full of snakes? A box that was supposed to be full of snakes.
Nice. Okay.
Why can't you play jokes on snakes? Because you can never pull their legs.
Oh.
It's snake joke time. A snake walks into a bar and bartender says, how did you do that? Snake said, I'm a sidewinder.
Very cool. Okay, we're going to go to another step. Oh, should we do which insect would you like to see?
I don't care.
Well, I know, but
Just
you
spin
brought
it around.
them.
We need a cricket at least so I can feel like
Okay.
I can check off a box for Commander Chiffard.
Okay.
Even though he asked for a grasshopper, I feel like a cricket is a substitute. A reasonable substitute for a grasshopper. We tried to catch a grasshopper the other day, by the way, Commander Chiffard. If you're watching this or if you're watching the VOD, we made an attempt. And the grasshopper wanted nothing to do with us. So, is this the cricket?
How do I know if it's the cricket?
That's a cricket.
That's a cricket?
I'm pretty sure.
They got hairy legs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at the face.
That's the face. All right, we're going this way.
I mean, it doesn't have. It doesn't look like a bee, does it? Maybe it's the wasp.
Oops, too far.
You're on number 3. Is that supposed to be cricket? Yeah, I think this is the cricket.
It's got a dirty face.
Well, it was dead.
It's true.
I didn't kill any of the bugs. They just ended up being around us. This one jumped into a bucket outside of our house, and it got trapped in the bucket and died in the bucket, which I feel like it was just asking to be put on the scanning electron microscope at that point.
No antenna.
They probably broke off.
I would assume that's what happened. So what would you like to see on this? Would you like
Somebody
to
manhandled this head.
Literally manhandled.
Yeah, literally. Removing it from the body of the cricket was challenging, but I feel like I did a good job with that. And then, can you just look a little bit to the right of the legs?
That way?
Yeah. Somewhere on here, if it's the cricket, there should be those little ovipositors.
Ooh.
Maybe it's not the cricket. I don't know.
Oh,
no, there
it
they are.
is.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right, we can.
Yeah, it's got hairy all the way up the side of its legs too,
I
because it's a big
know.
leg. You know, the thigh part
The
of the leg.
femur.
Yeah, because is it a femur when you're talking about insects?
I think. Well, it's tarsals. No. Who's our insect person? Is there an insect person in the house?
I don't know if we have any insect people. Studio says if you don't have an exit, that's a non-comforting science sport.
Oh, look. Look at that. Hold on.
The
The end
positing
of the-
part of
the-
the ovipositor.
Yes.
Headshot Specialist says, I have to be honest, the professor's stream is making me want to sell my house and buy an SEM. And the studio said that the scale shape is actually very diatom-like. I think they mean the
Snake scale.
snake scale, yeah. Zbadian said, what do you call a snake that has been fused with a fruit? A bananaconda. We couldn't catch a grasshopper. Well, we tried.
To be fair, we didn't want to kill a grasshopper.
Right. I mean, I don't like to sacrifice the insects if I can help it. When they want to donate themselves to science, they jump in a bucket outside my house and die, or they land on the roof of my car, and then when I get out, I'm like, why is there a wasp on the roof of my car? And then I poke at it and it's dead. And somehow I drove for like 4 miles and it's still on the roof of my car. I feel like it's just asking to be put in the SEM. So those are fine. But
Why is it doing that?
it's charging a little bit.
No, but I mean it's fine. And then when I
It's because those parts have a bunch of little tiny pieces sticking up, and the electrons can't escape them as easily when they're spines or large, like long things.
but here it's not. It's only when I make the little box around it that
Because
it's
now it's just scanning inside the box, so the density of the beams is equal to what was on the entire image. It's now in that little tiny box. Now it's only scanning in that little box. It's
And
not
it's
just
just
only
like,
showing you
woo!
that little part, it's only scanning in
it's
there.
literally only scanning that. Oh.
So that part gets charged up. And you can see when you moved it from one to the other, it left a little image box. And until you rescan over it, it's going to leave that, like,
The
image
artifact,
box.
yeah.
If you just left it in a really small space for a really long time, it would burn holes in it.
Ooh.
Because it's actually knocking electrons out of the
Yeah.
sample.
I don't want to burn holes.
I mean,
I don't want to burn holes in an ovipositor. We're not going to do wood,
abuse to crickets.
wood burning
dead
into
crickets.
cricket chitin. Do you want a picture of the end of the ovipositor, or should I
Whatever
just?
you'd like pictures of is fine.
I mean, it's very cool to see, but I'm kind of okay moving on.
Move on then.
Who requested the?
Commander Shafard wanted us to look at a grasshopper
Okay,
and asked us with his points in the channel.
channel points.
And I think you actually paid for something.
I paid
the last
for
one of my streams.
I paid for the control.
Oh, you just wanted to control the SEM.
It was the what's the
So
one
I feel like I
called?
can mark those off as having
You
been.
can definitely mark mine up.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
like, yeah, I've had the opportunity now.
All right. So,
Okay.
that face is a moneymaker. The cricket face? Yeah, the wasp and the hornet have big chompers, right? So if we looked at the wasp or the hornet, they should have giant mandibles. Right, exactly, Gorgana. It volunteered to be a tribute. Exactly. Is it spiderweb? I don't think so. And we were going to potentially look at some
Oh,
spiderweb.
yeah.
We just didn't think to do it this morning.
No, I
So
should have brought some.
We could go get some.
There's plenty around.
For a stream, maybe sometime we'll just put some on there. That would be really cool. I would just need to take some stub with the, sticky tape on it and just stick it at stuff.
All right, I want to see this bit right there.
Mama M Media says, when my parents got me a microscope for the first time, my dad put a spider in there that they killed on the slide for me. We've looked at spiders before. I think it was just a molt, though. And again, I think it was dead.
A previously
and
dead
I don't
spider.
know, because Mallory collected that spider. So she might have killed it, but I doubt it, because she names the spiders in her house, so. Pangolin said I was scared of ants for a period as a kid because my mom showed them to me under a microscope. So there were ants that were actually in my collection of insects that were crawling out of the cicada that I had captured. And my daughter noticed them and was like, ants, because she hates ants.
Oh.
And I don't know why. In her house, she kills them, and then outside the house, she kills them when she sees them. And I'm like, they're not hurting anything outside the house. Just leave them alone.
Well, what kind of ant are they?
Just those little sugar ants, they get in the house because there's food. Right?
The sugar ants.
Yeah.
They have sugar ants in Indiana. Is it a kind of ant?
I don't know what their name is. They're like the little brown ants. House ants? Sugar ants? I don't know what they're called. And then we have carpenter ants.
Invasive Argentinian ants?
I don't think so.
No?
The carpenter ants, the bigger black ones, those also get in the house sometimes, and she also will kill those, and she'll kill those outside when she sees them. But I should save up ants for the stream because at some point we're going to have Zoikia Media here as a guest, either through, I mean, not in the lab, but like as a Zoom guest probably. And they can talk about ants while we put ants on the SEM. So we won't just be like looking for cool pictures of ants. We'll be talking about them with some knowledge. So, let's see.
Good news, everyone!
Sarah says, I'm finally sitting down to lunch after driving the vans over for a field trip.
Hooray!
Some scientists just want to watch the world burn. I guess so.
Really?
The SEM would make a nice defense cannon for your science fort. It does have an electron gun.
It does. I think that's the only kind of gun I would have. It's an electron gun.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe a bubble gun.
Ursa is here.
Fire bubbles.
I gave Ursa a shout out.
Yay.
And
Right.
she says, good afternoon. Ursa, this is Pacific Plankton, and I'm here, and we're in the same place, looking at stuff on the SEM together. So if you weren't in with the in crowd,
Now you are.
Now you are, right? So.
You've been inned.
Spider needs a haircut. Ants too. Oh, you hate ants. Okay, and they hate you. Studio says sugar ants are definitely a thing.
Really?
Boom.
They're called sugar ants.
Boom.
Okay,
I
cool.
got backed up by Studio. So.
Sugar ants, it's new for me. There's a lot of learning going on today.
Yeah.
Sugar ants.
Cicada is a reminder to IPM your dead specimens.
IPM.
I picked it up from the sidewalk and I brought it in. So we didn't do any sort of preparation on it. And then when it got here, I just chopped off its head, and then really just the eye plate forward. Parts of its head are still here.
Hey,
So,
Maui,
the
sorry.
ants, mostly my daughter killed. Some of them might be loose in the building, but I feel like, what's the worst that could happen? They find some food, and then we have ants marching through the building. Oh,
The ants
something
go
happened.
marching one by one.
Samsung gave out a gift sub to Studio.
Aww.
Now Studio has access to all the best emotes on Twitch.
Hey.
The best diatom
Thank you,
emotes on
Sam.
Twitch for sure. So, put those friends in a freezer. I mean, I guess you could. You could tell by her voice. Yeah. Sometimes when I talk on her stream, people can tell it's me from the voice too.
It's in the title.
Yeah, it's right in the title. I feel like you clicked on a thing that let you hear. So.
You clicked on a thing.
Right.
How mind of a snail.
Electron gun doesn't work so well outside of the vacuum. Yeah, that's why we keep everything in a vacuum. But if we pump down, right, if we pump the enemies down, if we had the orcs that were attacking your fort.
They'd have to be
and
really tiny orcs.
Tiny orcs. And we get them to sit still, and we put them in carbon tape, and we sputter coat them in gold, and then... Oh, you took a picture.
I took a picture.
Is this the... how many pictures have you taken?
Not that many.
Oh,
Just been having fun.
that's fine.
It's fun. I feel like I'm understanding the controls better, and I'm not questioning what I'm doing each time as much.
See? pretty soon it's just muscle memory. And then when somebody's like, how do you do this? You're like, I don't know.
I have to stop and think about it.
Spin
Yeah.
something, I push some buttons.
Look. Oh, that's going to be nice.
Got little leg hairs.
That's a part of the leg, and there's hairs on it.
Is it a cricket leg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like a one bit on the end of the leg. I just thought it was nice with a piece in front and a piece in back.
Sarah says it kind of looks like a star in the image. Like a piece of a star?
Oh, like the corona, No.
I don't know what you're doing.
What am I doing? It's bad.
Hypnotizing me?
No. When they do artistic renderings of stars and they have kind of the flamey surface kind of leaping out from the...
A flare.
Kind of, yeah. That's a...
Ursa says it depends on the device you have. I found out the other day that my iPad doesn't show titles of streams for some reason, but on my phone, she's on her phone and she just didn't read the title.
Oh, well, that's okay too.
She didn't even have to read the title though, because she's like, that's weird. I know this voice.
It's so weird. Oh my gosh. Look at the time.
I know. So at 2 o'clock we have to stop.
We do.
And we'll have to go raid somebody, but we got another 20 minutes until then.
So what do you want to see next?
I don't know, bugs?
Okay.
Show them a picture of that cicada face, and then we'll look at the hornet.
Okie doke.
The wasp can wait.
The
I
wasp
guess.
can wait.
Thank you for the follow. Topple the TV. Dayuper68 says, we're having spaghetti.
Ooh.
It does look a little bit like spaghetti. Are you guys enjoying hanging out together? Yeah. I mean, I'm
I'm having a lot of fun.
enjoying it.
All right. This is not a Michigan snake.
No. I feel like it's more of an experience for Pacific Plankton because, she hasn't used an SEM before. And,
He teaches people this all the time, so it's like another day at work.
yeah, sort of. I
I'm
mean,
just like...
a lot of times they teach people while they're on the stream here, so this is pretty normal.
Yeah.
But I don't stream into this time slot very frequently. So.
I used to do Mondays.
Not
It was
this early,
True.
Well, this time of day, Mondays, when we would start normally. So.
Just get rolling. All right. Okay.
I don't think I've even made any suggestions about what to do with the controls today.
Mm-mm.
So.
Except I was asking about the rotation. You did.
Oh, that's
Help
true.
me out with the
But I was
math.
only doing some math for it. Right.
Hey, math works. All right. We're looking for
Cicada's 4.
4, so it's...
3.5. You
Three.
can click that.
You can click this?
Yeah, you can click that.
Whoa, what's that?
Cicada face.
That's pretty crazy.
That's the little, they got like a grill on the
Yeah.
front of their face. If you go this way, you should see eyes. Like
This way?
southeast. Southwest, I mean. Oh, there's the central eyes. So they have 3 eyes in the center of their head. Those are the light sensor eyes. And then on the outside edges, you'll find their, like the eye, a bunch of eyes together, right? These are the little compound eyes. So almost all
With the
insects' heads are this way, where they have
big-
2 big compound eyes that they use for motion. And you can zoom in on those. There'll be little like
Be really cool.
hexagons, which are like the little eye plates. And then those basically are used for detecting motion. And then the central eyes are usually like red colored eyes. They're usually not so obvious unless you're looking directly at an insect's face. And those are usually light sensor eyes. So just like, how bright is it?
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a cool picture.
You want a picture?
Yeah,
It looks like Play-Doh.
squeezing out of
Yeah.
the hairdresser.
Extruding. All right, so 7.
Corda says, hey, it's the microscopy dream team again. Well, she hasn't left yet, so we've got 2 more days after this of dream team. Literally like 48 hours, really, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You start thinking about it, you're gonna be like,
I have to make friends with someone with a scanning electron microscope in the Bay Area.
yeah. It's good to have more friends with scanning electron microscopes if you don't have one.
I have one.
No, I mean if you don't have a scanning electron microscope.
I was like, I have a friend with a scanning electron.
Right. Hearing you talk about early Monday when you're just finishing dinner. Yeah. Well, you know, you're on the other side of the world and
Speed,
stuff.
10. It should be 7. That's 7. And then I should do that.
Yeah. Insects are so furry. Yeah, they look even furrier when you get closer. They have fur on their, fur.
Yeah, fur. It's not really fur.
No, little chitin pieces or whatever.
Bristles.
Bristles, yeah. That's
Kind
actually
of.
a good way of thinking of it. But they have, on their legs, they're covered with like a fur, and then all over their faces usually, and on their wings even, there's some fur.
Even
Fur, like little spines usually.
on their eyeballs.
Yeah, sometimes on their eyes.
I mean, they're
their
not really
eyes.
eyeballs. They're like between the lenses on the compound eye. They'll sometimes have that.
Studio says, I love the filaments. Like, yeah, at the bottom there, that like bristly looking stuff. The Youper 68 said, have we ever seen...
Wait, who?
The Youper
The Youper?
68?
There's a Youper here?
The Youper.
The Youper.
Yeah, not just any Youper, the Youper.
Is the Youper from the UP?
I don't know. They gave a thumbs up.
Yeah. Hey, I was just up there.
Yeah, some of the samples we were looking at with the snakes came from the Youper Peninsula.
I'm down here with the trolls now.
It said they grew up on the east end below the bridge now.
Oh,
Oh, if they're below the bridge, maybe they're the trolls.
they're the troll. They're a troll.
I see.
See, above the bridge
Got it.
and below the bridge.
Got it. Ursa says her brother-in-law lives in the Upper Peninsula and they live in Wisconsin.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
it was beautiful. The leaves were starting to change. It was really beautiful.
the Youper wants to know if we've ever seen the eyes of a peacock shrimp up close. He said they look wild,
No.
even regular size.
No, I have not.
Sarah says whenever she meets new people now, she's going to ask them if they have an SEM, like maybe the 4th question in the list.
So what are the first 3? Now I'm
Right?
curious.
Yeah. What's 1, 2, and 3, Sarah? And
And
also,
I'll prepare my answers.
there's a person named Camplediscus in the channel that says hello.
Hello.
That's actually Carlin, my wife.
Possibly.
Well, it could be Sylvia,
Really?
but not at 1:44
Oh, no.
on a Monday. She's in school. So unless she's hacked in somehow using her Google Chromebook to Twitch,
I don't think so.
I wouldn't put it past her, but I think probably not. That's probably Carlin. So, Zabadian said peacock shrimps do indeed have wild eyes.
Okay. So the eye, and then should we do that central eye in the middle of the head, or
Sure.
do you want to look at the grill?
You know, also the long pointy thing that they use to like feed is stuck onto the faceplate here.
Do they feed as adults?
Well, it's like a they stick it into plants and
Really?
get some moisture out of it.
I didn't know
think.
they ate as adults.
Maybe it's just water.
No, I don't know much about them. I mean, I don't.
They're sucking face parts.
Sucking face parts.
Yeah.
So they're true bugs.
Sarah says the list is what's your name, where are you from, what's your favorite lizard? That's 1, 2, and 3.
Got it.
And then do you have an SEM? No. This person wants me to put them in timeout.
All right. So, let me speed it up.
Ursa says they don't need to eat, but they probably do drink water.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're not going closer. We're going to go out.
And Zabadian said they're currently duck going images of them. Oh,
Duck.
more snake jokes. What do you call a 3.4 meter long snake?
What?
A python. P-I-thon. See,
I
it's
like that
sucking mouth
one.
parts up
Yeah,
there?
yeah. So it's a true bug.
Look at that thing.
That's so cool.
There's some hairs on its tongue even.
Well, the tongue is probably here.
Oh, yeah,
inside.
that's
This
true.
is probably a sheath.
Tongue case.
It's a proboscis, probably.
Probably. You got your words for it, I've got my words for it.
They're just words, right?
Yeah.
So would you like a picture of the proboscis?
Yeah, that's cool.
And do you want it like just the tip, or do you want like the whole proboscis?
Whatever you'd like to try to get in the field of view for us.
I'm just kind of curious because I don't think.
Hey, look, it's Dell.
Dell!
He said, look at the two of you sitting there.
I know, we're sitting here.
I'm sitting here.
I'm
for
sitting
sure.
here.
Yeah.
I'm not floating.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Let's give Dell a shout out like this.
Although it's so much fun, it's kind of like dancing around. Okay.
We're looking at Cicada's mouth part.
And
It's sticking out its tongue at you.
it's brandishing its proboscis.
Now it's nice and sharp. Cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna charge up if you leave the beam on it for too long.
Okay. All right. So
Just letting you know.
speed 7, intensity 7, auto brightness.
Because of the, like it's shaped like a spine. It's also sticking off of the edge of the stub.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have many contact points. So it basically just there's no place for the electrons to go. So they end up supercharging on it's a combination of like spiny thing plus not touching anything is usually a bad combination. So Plankton pals, yes.
Mm.
How are things? Things are good. Hopefully they're good for you, Del. We are we're on the SEM, and then
Wait, I didn't slow it down, did I?
it's speed 7.
Okay.
We've been spending a little bit of time doing some prep in the lab, getting some samples ready for later.
I'm learning all about
some
that.
Slide making will happen sometime today as well.
I got to boil them in acid. It was very cool.
And then
Now they're being cooked on a hot plate.
we did a little bit of field work yesterday. We went out and collected some materials, and we're gonna probably go out again on Tuesday and do a little bit more.
Very
We're
exciting.
gonna do a little coring. I think we're gonna core from a canoe.
Yeah. Well,
That's-
I have
that's where we
access
are.
to a canoe
Right, and a lake.
and a lake.
Right.
So, gotta use what you got. It's kind of cool.
Studio said I would love to be able to clean diatoms and then arrange them on a slide like the Victorian style. Well, we do have a micro manipulator here, Studio.
I still haven't played
you
with
can
that.
if you come visit, you can manipulate diatoms. You have to bring your own pig eyelashes, but otherwise, I think you can do it without the micro manipulator. A lot of people just do it by hand.
Or you've done it in Photoshop.
Right, that's how I roll. I just do it in Photoshop. I take the picture and then I just
Digital.
Right.
Yeah.
Make copies of it.
Aw.
Yeah, the doing it by hand part is possible, right? You just need like a paintbrush and a good microscope and
It looks like it's shattering apart and it's gonna blow.
could.
Mm-hmm.
We leave the beam on there for long enough.
We'll go back to the other end because that was really cool. I have maybe enough time to
The
do
vent,
that.
the vent part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it like emerges.
Yeah.
Unless you want the eye.
No, eyes are kind of boring.
Bats are cool. Have you looked at a mosquito yet?
No.
I'm gonna get you a
People
mosquito.
keep asking me about mosquitoes.
I
and
will
it's
bring
like,
you a
well,
mosquito.
You know, when I see a mosquito, it's usually like smash, and then.
So what you need to do is you need to like wait and like
Mm-mm,
grab
not
it
gonna
with the
happen.
forceps.
No.
No?
No.
See, I never have the forceps with me, and if I try and grab it, I
I'll
just
give
don't
you some
have
forceps, but I'm not gonna let
I
a
don't have
mosquito
the
sit there and
precision.
inject me with its nasty little teeth stuff.
They don't drink much, and it's just the females.
It's hard to get them. Oh, it's easy to get them, just not as a whole organism, right?
I bet I could.
I'm not
It's
saying
like,
you
Give me
couldn't.
something to do after dark. Cicada.
Also, they're always like biting me in the ankles and stuff, right? So
Mm.
it's kind of a far way away from where the tweezers would be. I suppose I could just leave a little bit of my arm exposed and then everything else covered, and that's where they would go. Especially if I breathed on my arm right there and like put all the carbon dioxide right in one place. Sam says, I caught one once. I wanted to see if they only lived for a few days, and they survived in a cup for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Nothing is impossible, not if you can imagine it.
That's mosquitoes are crazy like that. D-Man 1843 is following. Thank you for the follow. Del says that they're their favorite. The mosquitoes must love them. I did hear that, I don't know if it's true or not, that once you've had the malaria medication, that you're more likely to attract mosquitoes.
Oh, really?
And of course I have had the malaria medication because I've been to Africa.
But is it like once you've had it ever, or is it just while it's active in your system?
I don't know.
I also have heard, this is like all these like stupid things you hear online, that if you drink beer, apparently you're more likely to be attractive to mosquitoes.
Well, it's possible. They are attracted to carbon dioxide. So, and if you're drinking something that's carbonated, you necessarily are probably releasing a little bit more carbon dioxide. So, it's a good question.
Yeah?
I mean, you're in charge of the artistic composition here.
I know.
It's either this or we need to move over and look at that Hornet Face.
Well, let's look at the Hornet Face.
Okay.
Uh,
Hornet's 5.
5. So, like...
4.5, yeah. But you have
Yeah.
to click on 4 or 5. You can't click in between. That's the wing. See how it's got little hairs on the wing?
It does. Except we wanted the head, right? Which is...
There you go.
There we go. There are those bits.
It does look a lot like a hornet face.
Oh, is it the Hornet?
It's mandibles.
It's the Hornet.
I think that's the hornet.
Okay.
Its antennae are still there.
Yeah, that's cool.
One up, one
Alright.
down. Is it the hornet or is it a wasp? I think that's the hornet. Yeah. Because 6 would be like halfway between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It's a white-faced hornet. And I just found it in a parking lot when we went to Dobbs with my daughter the other day. Heat. Yeah, I think they also use heat. So I
Carbon
went on a
dioxide.
hike with 5 friends, 3 hours, got 80 bites, and they got 0.
Wow. Do
Whoa.
you drink beer?
No, he says he doesn't drink beer.
Oh.
Del, I want to know next time I go out in the field if you'll come along with me. Not because I necessarily want you to come, but as long as I have one person that's a mosquito magnet, then they won't come to me, right? So you should just use that as a selling point to get people to take you along to all kinds of cool places, because you'll be like, okay, I'm the sacrificial like mosquito magnet, and then your friends are more likely to get you to go to cool places, right?
I should be stopping, right? Because you've got a student coming in.
Yeah, I gotta go get her. So
Oh,
we should probably work on closing down the stream, though. So
probably.
you always thought mosquitoes smell your sweat.
Huh.
Oh,
Well, there's pheromones in sweat, so,
could be.
right?
I don't know anything about SEMs. Can you load up to 7 samples at a time? In ours, yeah. Ours is a carousel with 7 little stubs.
Do
and
they
we
see
can,
that? They don't see that.
They can't see your mouse. Oh, yeah, they can.
Here?
Yeah, they can see that.
Ah,
It
so
jumps
these are the
over to
stubs.
that image.
These are the stubs here.
Yeah, this one holds 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around and one in the middle.
Yeah, sometimes they have a big plate and you can have way more than 7 things in it. This one just holds 7 that are in this sort of like, they're 12.5 millimeter surfaces on them. So, you know, relatively little small little thing, but it holds a whole bunch of them. You could also just like grab one of those over there and stick it in the camera so they could get a sense of how big it is. Yeah.
Can they see? Is it too high up? I don't know. There's a delay.
They can see.
Hmm?
I mean, the closer you get it, the better, I suppose.
Better? Stubs.
Yeah, that's good. Your primary function in campouts, yeah. You'll sit 20 to 30 yards away from the campsite. No, I want you to be right at the campsite. I want them to all come to you instead of me. Because I think if you're too far away, it'll lose its effectiveness. I told my partner definitely pick her in the zombie apocalypse because she runs slower than me. Yeah. Who am I going to be rating today? That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I only have Rams Reef out of all the people that I follow who's on today.
Monday.
It's quiet. I will take suggestions too.
A quiet day in Twitch world.
We could always go to Rams Reef.
We could definitely
But-
do that.
What's the surface of the stub made out of? The little metal things are aluminum. The little stubs themselves are aluminum.
That's aluminum.
And they've got carbon tape on them, which is this stuff, which are these little dots that we use. Sticking dot stickers on the carbon tape on the stubs is, you know, how we got the samples mounted.
They stick.
Oh, that's all right. We can do an artist. That's fine.
Yeah, we can read an art.
We are totally happy rating an art. So if you have a suggestion, Ursa, friend of yours. The only streams I follow that are on right now are 24/7 streams. Yeah, that's the only one we have. I've got Mystery Science Theater and Rams Reef. That's it. But we can make new friends. That's what we do on Twitch. That's how we got where we are right now. Right?
Friends.
Sebastian says I have a lot of gaming streams.
Mm. Oh, that's broken off there.
The antenna just
Antennas there.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Oh, there's the head eyes.
Yeah, they're always 3. They're always in the middle.
See, now I'm curious.
The other eyes are also on the head, though.
They are. Gotta love the head eyes.
I'm not positive, but I think all organisms have the eyes on the head.
That's an interesting question.
One just started, so she still had the streaming soon screen, and the other is Shan Chan. Okay. Yeah, duck, 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 goose says, my eyes are on my head too. I think it's like systemic. Shan Chan. What does Shan Chan do, Ursa? Octopuses have eyes on their arms? Do they?
Sea stars have eyes on the ends of their arms.
Sea stars, yeah.
And
Starfish stars,
sea
sea
urchins,
stars.
the purple sea urchin, it's actually...
Oh, on the ends of the
it's-
spines, right?
No, it's the whole body. They
The
have...
whole body is an eye?
It's a matrix of photorecepting cells that are kind of focused around the body, but more towards the end of the spines.
Well, that's crazy talk.
It is. It's really cool.
Where's their head, though?
The purple sea urchins,
Yeah.
they don't have a head. So their eyes aren't on their head if they don't have a
I
head,
mean, I guess that does create a problem.
doesn't it? If you don't have a head.
All right, we will go
Oh.
raid Shan Chan.
Okay.
I don't know what...
I just had to.
They're doing a lot of art stuff. What, today I think Shan Chan is doing in stuff.
Hmm.
Samsung says urchins are mostly gonads too, aren't they?
You can break them open.
Oh, ink stuff. Ink stuff. Okay. Well, we'll do. That's fine. That sounds good. We'll give them a raid, and I've got to go find my
Yep.
student, and she probably knows where I'm hiding, but make sure that she comes down here. So we need to end the stream.
We
but,
do.
I want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out, and this is
Thank you.
fun as always. And then we'll probably get back on the SEM after the student leaves for a bit and look at some of Pacific samples. But I don't know if we'll share it with you guys. Maybe we'll just hoard it to ourselves.
You never know.
But thank you for visiting and hanging out. This has been fun, and we probably will stream again tomorrow
Mhm.
and also the next day. We'll
Yeah.
see. But
I just can't let the Wednesday stream get away from me because
Right.
I'll miss my plane, and that's
right.
no good.
We need to make sure that she doesn't miss a plane trip home. 'Cause then she'll be forced to stay here and use the SEM for another day. And she won't have any place to sleep, so she'll probably have to sleep in here on the lab on the floor. So we can't have that happen. As we found out earlier, we're not allowed. So
Could be a problem.
okay. Thanks everybody. It's fun hanging out and looking at bugs and snakes and everything with you all. We'll see you again later, tomorrow probably.
Hmm.
Or maybe we'll do a microscope stream at night. Who knows?
Oh.
All right.
Good night. Good night.
There was a
Good
diatom right
afternoon.
where my head was.
Nice.
It's cool. All right. So let's.
Look at this.
Doesn't it look cool?
That's so cool.
It's a jungle of pollen stuck to that bee's face too.
I know.